Today we're going to be taking a look at the Lava paddle by Black Project SUP, which is a paddle designed to do well in a variety of conditions. With performance in view in mind, they've designed this paddle to handle SUP surfing, going cruising, or even going racing on the weekends. With their scooped dehydro blade technology, you're provided with a paddle that grasps the water securely with each paddle stroke, eliminating lateral blade movement. Today we're taking a look at the three versions they offer this paddle in, which is the one-piece fixed paddle, the two-piece adjustable, and the three-piece adjustable. All three of these paddles are constructed with the Reflex Carbon 90 with medium flex shaft, as well as a large paddle blade and a shaft of 29 millimeters. Now they do offer this paddle in two other blade sizes as well, which is a medium and a small, and also a smaller shaft size. So when you go to check out on their website, you can choose what's best suited for your body size and paddling discipline. But for today's comparison video, just know that each one of these paddles is made with the same shaft construction, as well as the same paddle blade size. So let's take a look at some of the differences between these paddles. And starting off, we have this single piece shaft option of this paddle. The biggest pro of this paddle is that you obviously have no moving parts, so you have the most sturdy and most solid shaft in your hands. The downside is you have a shaft that's also just set to one size, so you can't just change the height of your paddle between each paddle session or every time you go out for a paddle. So if you go to purchase this paddle on their website, for example, you're going to choose what height you want the shaft cut to. Now, if you're new to stand-up paddleboarding, I highly recommend you check out their paddle size chart and then choose the highest option available on that size chart for your body height. The reason you want to do this is when you get this paddle in your hands and you decide the paddle is actually too tall for you, you can actually easily cut it down to a shorter height that's more suited for the type of paddling that you want to be doing. But for example, if you buy this paddle in too short a height, obviously there's no way you can make it taller after it's been cut too short. So the safest thing to do is buy this paddle a little bit taller, and if you decide you want a little bit shorter, you can cut it and cut to that perfect height that you want it in. Now the specs in terms of the weight of this paddle is definitely going to change, obviously, with how tall paddle you buy. For example, I'm a taller paddler, so my paddle shaft is going to be much longer, more suited for my taller body size. So if you're a shorter person, your shaft is going to be much shorter, causing or allowing your paddle to be much lighter. But for a frame of reference, Black Project says on their website that if you get this specific paddle cut to 75 inches or 191 centimeters, it's only 15.7 ounces or 456 grams, which is a very light paddle at this price point. Now moving on to the two-piece adjustable paddle. This paddle is super nice because you can adjust the paddle height for every time you go for a paddle. So if you're going out SUP surfing, you can choose to open it up and lower it down a little bit for that surf stance. Or if you're going just for a cruise, you want a taller paddle to cruise around, you can easily raise it up. So that's super nice because no matter what kind of paddling you're going out to do for the day, you usually adjust the height of your paddle to match what you want to go do. So as you can tell, this two-piece adjustable paddle is way more versatile in comparison to the one-piece fixed paddle option. So if you're someone that wants a paddle that does it all, or someone who wants to share a paddle with your family and friends, this is the better option to consider. One other feature that I love about this paddle also is their anti-twist system. So anytime you raise or lower your paddle height, you can be assured that your shaft is not going to get twisted as you're changing the height of your paddle. This is really handy because after you change that paddle height and you go off your paddle, you can rest assured that your handle on top is still facing the correct direction you need it as you go for a paddle. At this moment, I do not have the exact weight of this paddle, but if I receive that later, I'll post it up right here. And lastly, we have our three-piece adjustable paddle here. Now obviously this paddle is very similar to the two-piece adjustable, with the exception that it has one more clamp system in the middle of the shaft, allowing it to break down into those three parts. The biggest pro of this paddle is it's much easier to travel with, as we're able to break it down to a much smaller size and fit it into a much smaller travel size bag, in comparison to the other two paddles where you need a much larger travel size bag in order to carry it. Both clamp systems on this paddle as well are super smooth and super secure, providing you still with a very solid paddle to use in the water. One last pro about this paddle as well is if you're someone who travels a lot with an inflatable paddleboard, this paddle will easily break down small enough to fit inside your paddleboard bag, making it cheaper for you to travel as you only have to check in one bag for your travels versus two bags, which is your paddleboard and your paddle. So by being able to fit this paddle inside your paddleboard bag, you're saving money. All right, now it's time to do some flex tests. The first one will be on the beach, where I simply lean my weight into the paddle to see how far it flexes. The second one will be in the water, seeing how it actually flexes to me paddling the water and pulling myself to that paddle. So all these paddles performed really well and make for an incredible paddle experience. The medium flex shaft provides comfort and protection for the shoulders, while the blade does an excellent job of securely grabbing the water with each paddle stroke. The highest performing paddle has to go to the one-piece paddle though. By having one solid shaft, it provides an even flex throughout the entire shaft, which is a difference you'll feel as you paddle. I also felt like I was able to get slightly more power out of each stroke by having no extra joints or connecting parts on the shaft. Right behind this one is the two-piece model. This one I personally have been using the longest out of all these paddles, and I still love it. Although I feel like the one-piece performs slightly better, I love how versatile this paddle is by being able to easily change the height and test out different paddle heights. Lastly, we have the three-piece model. This one shocked me the most at how well it performed. Even with it being in 3 parts, the paddle still had great flex and provided me with plenty of power out of each paddle stroke. Although I would say the other 2 paddles have a slight edge over this one, which is not by much though, I would still be stoked to have it in my paddle collection and never hesitate to take it out for a paddle. So these paddles are offered at 3 different price points. The cheapest one is a single shaft option, which is priced at $350. From there you go to the 2-piece paddle option, which is priced at $375. And lastly, the 3-piece paddle option is priced at $400. So basically, the more parts that you're gonna have, a little bit more expensive it's gonna be. And in my personal opinion, those are also great price points as you're getting a very high quality performing paddle in your hands. So in the end, which paddle do I recommend for which person? If you're someone who knows exactly what kind of paddling you wanna do, and you want a paddle that's focused on giving you the most amount of endurance, the most amount of speed, and the highest amount of performance, the single shaft option is best suited for you. This paddle is slightly higher performing than the other 2, simply because with that single shaft option, you get no room for movement, so you're getting 100% of all that power and energy applied directly into your paddle stroke every single time. But if you're someone who wants one paddle that does it all, where you can go surfing one day and racing the next day, or you want a paddle that you can share with your family and friends, the 2-piece version is really the best option for you. And then lastly, if you're the person who loves to travel with your paddleboard and see and explore new places, the 3-piece version is the best option for you, as it can easily fit inside your paddleboard bag, or with a small travel size carry bag that it comes with, you can easily travel around with that as well. If you have any other thoughts or questions about these paddles, be sure to simply leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to get back to you with a response. That's it for now, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.